week of Odin action. Today we have our week 7 games. For the first game, it will be a Bifrost matchup for Kansas City Cyclones and Colorado Wolves, followed by 2 Glacier matchups. Those are Los Angeles versus Colorado and Philadelphia and Minnesota. I am your host, Detra, joined here by Barmanitan. How are you doing tonight?
Doing good, doing good. I've watched earlier some other Rocket League action. I'm excited to get to cast some of my own, and I'm sure Kansas City and Colorado will live up to plenty of the hype that we will be providing.
Oh, 100%. With both of these teams trying to get that lively spot in the playoffs, and both of these teams needing crucial wins to do it. If we go look at these teams here, Kansas City looks like they are going to be running Buck Wildebeest, KO, and RBKO, which is their top lineup. KO, I'm pretty sure he's made the league leaders list 4 times this season. First in shooting, goal average, shooting per game average, or shot per game average, and he's second in saves or save average. They are second to last in their conference, just below. If we look at the standings here. Oh, okay, never mind. They jumped up a lot. So they are second in the conference. Colorado 12-5. Kansas City is 13-10.
Yeah, they do hold that slight edge, that one game victory. So this Western Conference here in Bifrost is very, very close. Only 3 wins separating second to sixth. So, plenty to play for here. I'm sure these teams will be doing everything they can to push themselves higher up the table. And, this one could really settle a lot of matchups.
Right, like you said, it's competitive. You have Houston Galaxy at the bottom only by 2. And then there's 3 12-point teams. There's Kansas City with 13. And then it's close until you get to Las Vegas, who is 7 points above any team, or the second place team. They have clinched, so it's pretty much
I can't see
a lock for LV.
No, I'm in the game. So yeah, just having some difficulties in the background here, but I'm sure we'll be in here soon enough and getting these players joining.
As soon as this Colorado team joins, that we will be starting this game. But so Colorado, right? They recently had a big roster switch up. Half of their roster straight left. So they were kind of in a rush, kind of in a tough spot to find players, but they ended up picking OOS and Risky Money. OOS actually got dropped from Kansas City. We go look at when this was.
So we're getting a revenge arc up in here?
Yeah, last month, the 17th. OOS got dropped and Buck Wildebeest got signed. So, and then just today, they signed Risky Money, Legend, and OOS. So we will get to see a redemption from OOS, see if they OOS, Legend, and who's their other player? Goodness, wait. Legend, OS, and Risky Money can pull off the, their revenge.
Yeah, try and beat their old team, get them back where it hurts the most in a league game, and I'm sure they would not be very happy about that. So we have got another team in, and we do have both teams joining the lobby. Kansas City leading by 1 game going into this one, and they've scored 10 more goals, so maybe they are the favourites, but I'm sure it'll still be a very close matchup. Most things are suggesting it. We've got a revenge arc. We've got 2 teams joining. 5 minutes on the clock into game 1. Here we go, and what a matchup we had ahead of us, Detra.
And as the kickoff will go in Colorado's favorite, Legend pre-jumping that from almost the midfield, KO tries to get it past OOS, not able to. OOS with 15 boost. Tries to get it past to the midfield. KO will clear it down the field. Legend is sitting back. Clears it to the corner. Blocked away by Buck Wildebeest, which will go straight to OOS. RBKO is going to put a shot on just off the backboard. OOS not able to get the save. As Legend trying to go for a demo on KO there. OOS to the corner. Gets the bounce. Saved away by Buck Wildebeest. No team has scored yet, and we're almost already a minute through.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much action just yet, KO, with the single shot of this opening minute, so, you know, it all too often proves the case that the first sort of opening exchanges in Game 1 are just teams feeling each other out, you know, a little bit of an interaction coming in there, Buck Wildebeest trying to play it out, so they're just trying to see what the other team can offer. The midfield battle's really where it's at the moment, as neither team's really taking any sort of dominant control just yet.
Right, as we've had shots and we've had shots and really good defense, nothing coming through from either of these teams, as we've seen a little bit more offensive pressure from this Colorado team, but it's still 0-0 as we're 3:30 to go. Legend will get blocked by KO. Buck Wildebeest will be next up for this one. Legend slamming it into the corner, waiting for OS's touch. He'll bring it up the wall, gets it past one, can't get the pass off. Buck Wildebeest will send it back as Legend gets dunked off the pre-jump from Buck Wildebeest. OS trying to keep this going. Still nothing though, and almost a chance if someone was there, but no one home for Kansas City. As a bump will come out from OS off the landing, steals the boost. Buck Wildebeest gets the flick off, and pretty sure that's risky money. I'm not quite sure though. I'm guessing it is. We're just gonna go with hopefully it is. As OS tries to get it to the midfield, and we're almost at this the halftime point, and no goals have been scored.
Yeah, and, you know, it's kind of surprising. I feel like Colorado have had the majority of their pressure, Kansas City having to play quite a lot of defense, but it also feels like Kansas City have had the better of what few opportunities we've seen. You know, they've been threatening on the counter-attack. As you said, Buck Wildebeest got a couple of good dunks in, so feels like Kansas City really trying to threaten on the counter, but Colorado not offering that many opportunities. But on the other hand, Colorado through all of this dominant pressure, not really seeing much success. You know, keep getting into that final third where no big punch is coming through, and it means that they do have to be alert on defense, and here they will get it out from Buck Wildebeest. They'll try to go up the other end again, but the pace just isn't quite there. They take far too much time on it, but we'll come into the middle actually, and they proved me wrong. Maybe taking time was what they needed to do, as OOS will indeed get the lead. The first goal of the series for Colorado.
Yeah, I was a little scared on how this is going to work, because I thought there was a little bit of communication error in the midfield just off to the left there. But it ended up working as Legend went out to get a demo, and OOS got the pass, and they get the first goal of the series and take the lead late in Game 1.
Yeah, need to see a response from Kansas City. No, they only have a minute and a half to get that response, and you know, in Odin Esports, every game matters. Even if you win the series overall, those games dropped means that the other team will get points back, and that is not at all what Kansas City wants. It's such a tight look in the table, and they will indeed get the equalizer. KO gets the long-range snipe, and no one is home for Colorado.
OOS gets that touch that completely throws Legend out of the rotation and leaves Kansas City with a wide open net. They're going to take advantage of that every time you give it to him, and is now one apiece as KO not able to get the double tap. Gets it past RB, who does manage to get it a little dunk, but it's going to be straight to OOS. Trying to put it mid for Legend. Legend with the shot, not great, and it's off, as that one will be sent to the backboard. KO is there. Melvin not able to get anything there, as it's going to be Melvin again. To the back wall. KO will be there to send it away. Straight to Legend though. Good midfield presence from this Colorado squad. And OS with another shot, but Buck Wildebeest will get the save. Buck Wildebeest gets bumped downfield, sent away. Buckled Beast will get a little touch. Legend will follow it up to the backward. Nobody there though. Melvin with the shot just off OS will finish it. 2-1, 23 seconds left, and Colorado has the lead.
And it does feel like it's deserved as well. Yes, they've only had 4 shots. It's not been by any means domination, but they've definitely been quicker in the midfield for this whole game. And Kansas City have really been struggling to put up with what they're coming forward with and trying to break out of their own half. Colorado kept the possession for a good period of time there, a minute or so, I'd say, and they do get the reward for it. They have the lead, and going into the 15 seconds, they should be able to close this one out.
Yeah, when you're getting that many shots as OS almost gets his third.
No way.
On the night, but
no way.
Oh no.
Oh
no. No, what happened?
It's disaster for Colorado.
Oh,
They do not see this one out. Melvin completely missed the ball, and it just trickles in from Wildebeest to all, and I think we're heading to overtime, Detra.
Well. Man, what an unfortunate sequence. And we do have overtime. Game 1, 2-2. This overtime really shouldn't be happening if Colorado played their cards right. But that is not the case. They try to get a third. And, make their win a little bit more comfortable, but not quite able to. And it's Kansas City attacking early. Nothing. Okay, OS. Trying to air dribble it over Buck Wildebeest. Buck Wildebeest trying to send it to the midfield. Sent away by Melvin. OS will follow that up. Now this is a new squad, so I'm not quite sure how much chemistry they're gonna have. As opposed to this this KC squad who's had a lot more time to get chemistry. So it should be pretty interesting.
It should be. They're having to do an awful lot, right?
Oh
not surely
God.
that one should have been on target from RBKO, but it is not the case. It comes rattling off the post, and Colorado will have some more time to regroup and try and get that chemistry going once more, because I do think they've probably been the better of the two sides throughout this first game, but they go into this overtime, and they're a minute in now where they've had to soak up a lot of pressure, and now they're trying to get their first few shots of the overtime. It's not going to come off very well for them, as they'll have to keep scrambling, and KC try to reverse the way that the first 5 minutes of this game go.
Oh
they had the
my.
domination in the minute of overtime, and they will get the winner. RBKO makes up for his prior post smashing and gets it into the back of the net. What a dunk that is, actually. Completely reads legend.
Alright, and Kansas City will be taking game 1 after their incredible last second comeback, and then they got it once again. See, it looks like we are going to be having technical difficulties with the overlays, so we will be resetting them momentarily before we get into this game 2, where Kansas City will be up 1-0.
Yeah, players might have to wait a little bit here. I'm sure they won't mind, but they might cancel out some Kansas City momentum here, because yes, as you say, they come off of that miraculous 3-second equalizer, just getting into that overtime, and they make the most of it. Great stuff from all three. RBKO, you might have thought he might get disheartened from its post smashing. They had quite a few opportunities in that first minute of overtime, but they kept their heads held high, and they go on to win it all. So there's a whole potential 4 games waiting for them in this series. If they'll have to probably get a little bit more switched on than they were in game 1. They were offering up a lot of possession, a lot of the midfield play to Colorado, and struggling to break out of that. But despite all of that, better playing from Colorado, it doesn't matter. Kansas City get the win anyway, and we will head into game 2 with their advantage.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Colorado could have just played conservative and ended out that game, but OS just trying to get another one, and just lack of solid rotations from Colorado led to Kansas City being able to just walk their way right into overtime, and then ended up getting the win in it. So, oh, and Legend has joined. Same with OS.
might be some difficulties here. Can we tell them to leave? One of them's left. Okay, I think we are. Okay, the game has started, so we might have to get a lobby reset in here.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Hopefully,
Well,
this doesn't affect the players too much, because might.
Colorado. Um. So Colorado ends up joining early, and well,
We'll have
now
to
we're
go
gonna
and
have
try
a new
again.
lobby made. Yeah. So we'll be going into a second lobby.
So it just gives maybe some more time for Colorado here to settle their nerves. It can be awfully disheartening to take a 3-second equalizer and then lose it in overtime. They just lacked that composure in the final moment, so they're gonna have to get that back. As you say, there's rotations that need to be worked on here. That their communication wasn't quite up to scratch. It felt like for the most part they were operating as a pretty strong unit despite their new forming. So there's
Right.
definitely positives to take from game one, but at the same time those negatives cannot be ignored.
Right. I mean, OS very solid offensive player for that team, very mechanical, but just not able to get it. He wanted to get that third goal, get the hat trick under his belt for game one, get the solid 3-1 victory, I think it was. But well, fate had other ideas, and KC ends up coming out 1-0 in the series. That definitely helps them, as this is a must-win week for Colorado if they really want to get up in their standings, since they are below Oklahoma City and Kansas City.
Yeah, I think if they lose another one here, they cannot overtake Kansas City in the other three games of the series. So they definitely want to start winning very, very quickly and try and rise up. As you said at the start, three teams tied on 12, so it's really, really close in the Western Conference. Any game you can win, you need to be taking those, because otherwise you'll just find yourself falling behind and maybe even dropping behind Houston Galaxy, another 2 games below them. So games to be won here. It's a very winnable matchup for Colorado. They've had positive goals, they've had good possession play, but if we see any more of that maybe cockiness coming out from OOS, where they're trying to push forward too quickly with not enough thought put behind it, then Kansas City are always going to take those open nets. They're always going to take any opportunity placed in front of them. So we go into game two with Colorado needing response.
Right, OS, he likes being that first man, and he's comfortable in that role. Just, if I'm Colorado, I just let him do his thing, and Legend moves more second man, or like Melvin and Legend go between second and third man, and let OS do his thing. But I don't know, as we are about 30 seconds into the game, no goal scored. OS with a shot, and OS will get the first goal of the game, of the second game of this series. Starting off strong once again.
Indeed, there's no overcommit this time. The rotation was in place to make sure that OOS had plenty of time to get that ball in the back of the net, wonderfully receiving. Legend has good team play coming in there, and it's just too quick for Kansas City, not able to react to that. So clearly when Colorado are firing on all cylinders going forward, Kansas City are having difficulties dealing with it, but it's just a question of whether Colorado can keep that up and make sure they don't overcommit, make sure they don't squander those opportunities, because on that evidence they have a lot to win from this game and they can really punish Kansas City.
100%, as we're a minute in, and it's Colorado on the offensive end again.
What a pump!
OS will be able to get back to that save, but it's in front of the net. Legend is there to clean it up, as Legend gets a 50 on Buckle Beast that will go to OS, who doesn't get the pinch he would have liked. Back to RBKO. Can't get the shot, so decides to send it into the corner to the midfield for KO. Blocked away by Legend. RB to the midfield for KO. Sends it back to the corner for RB with low boost. And OS on the counterattack has Melvin in the midfield. KO demos OS, and they don't come out with a goal there. Legend to the sidewall. KO will put it to that back wall, sent away. RBKO gets bumped as Buck Wildebeest will have an easy clear there as Melvin will control this one. Gets it past one. Only RBKO there. Gets it past him. OS with a shot. Buck Wildebeest will save it away. Melvin to the midfield. Blocked away by KO.
This game too just feels so much more open. We're really going end to end with each attack, and it's very well played to both defenses. They had to be so switched on, so alert to what's coming at them. And again, OOS, you were talking about how he likes to play that first man, but on the rotation backwards, he's played that one perfectly as he leaves himself just enough time to get back and get the save, allows his team Colorado to just push on in the offense again. And this is where they like to be, just controlling the ball, pushing it forward, waiting for their chance to strike. They've already got one, and they've had just about more shots in Kansas City as they have 5 to KC's 4, but it's really, really close at the moment. No one's back for Kansas City. Is anyone there in time for Colorado? Melvin tries to swoop in, but it's just about able to hold on again. It's off the post, and you know, I don't know how we haven't seen another goal. RB nearly going for the own goal, but OS's shot will come off to the side, and Kansas City have time to breathe.
A minute 50 remaining. Colorado still holding that 1-0 lead as OOS on the ball, sending it to the corner. Can't get anything past RBKO as Melvin gets bumped into that. We'll get one to the midfield, blocked away by Buck Wildebeest. Legend all the way up already. Sent away. Melvin, though, there to meet it as Buck Wildebeest will send it to the back wall. Legend gets a good pinch as KO to the backboard for RB. Can't quite get it as OOS will just wait it out. That should be Melvin with the clear over to OOS, but RB puts on the shot. It's off. This one shot again. OOS will take control of this one. Can't quite save it away though, as now we're under a minute. Colorado still with the 1-0 until Buck Wildebeest comes in and gets the equalizer.
And that was their first real period of pressure in this game number 2. It felt like they had a lot of opportunities going forward, and they even managed to snuff out something from Colorado on the counter. It looked like Colorado were maybe getting away, but they took too much time, allowed Kansas City to get back. They went straight up the other end, into the middle, and Buck Wildebeest does get the equalizer, leaving us 50 seconds for a team to stop us heading into a second consecutive overtime.
OOS ended up backflipping, I think, or got bumped. One of the two as Legend will put on the shot. OOS is up. RBKO is up for that one, though. Buck Wildebeest the only one back. OOS can't quite get the angle for the shot. Legend will go back for this one. KO to the midfield. RB blocked by Melvin, and that one's in. Buck Wildebeest not able to get back to it in time. 14 seconds, and Colorado has the lead.
Great block from elite Melvin. That is exquisite. He sees there's no one back for Kansas City. Realizes his opportunity to try and get on the end of this one as maybe a little bit of a double commit comes out from Kansas City. So there's no way they throw twice in a row, right? There's no way that they throw this one again as they do go on the offense once more. Maybe the counter's here for Kansas City, but Legend makes sure not to do anything. KO can't get on to the end of it, and Colorado equalize the series to 1-1.
And this is the Colorado I like to see. Good offense, good rotations, not letting them overcommit too many times, letting OOS do his thing on offense. See, this is what happens, right? They won this game, and they didn't choke in the last few seconds of the game. And they brought it back. Now, I just want to see if they can win by a bigger margin.
Yeah, well, maybe. I'm not sure they will be looking to do that, considering what happened in the first game. You know, they're going for a bigger margin, and the team communication mistake comes out, allowing Kansas City to get back into it. So the game plan may be a bit stronger in the game too, where, you know, I'm sure they're happy to get a third, but they're just playing that little bit safer making sure that they don't do anything, because Kansas City had to do a bit of defending and then almost broke out in the last few seconds. KO missed that chance to try and launch one last effort on net, and I think Colorado were back for it anyway, so it was looking pretty safe for them. And that's also what you want to see from an offensive team. Not getting too far forward, not overcommitting too much, and making sure that they do see out games when they really need to.
Exactly, as now we will be getting into this game number 3, and we will see which team, Kansas City or Colorado, will go up to match point.
As we keep saying, every game's so important here. Game 3, not only is it just another point added onto the standing, but puts you in such a good position to go on and win this series. So, all 6 cars in the match. Another 5 minutes clocked on to the scoreboard, and we will get this one underway.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see if Colorado will put on a bigger show. And okay, 3 seconds into the match, right off the kickoff, Melvin will get a perfect 50 off of KO, and Buck Wildebeest will own goal it. And they're already up 1-0 in the game.
Brutal pre-flip comes out for Kansas City. That is not at all what Buck Wildebeest intended. And I don't know if I've ever seen 2 goals in such quick succession. We're only 5 minutes in, and Elite Melvin has already scored 2 kickoff goals.
Well,
5 seconds I meant to say there, if I said minutes.
So I asked for more scoring, and this is not what I expected, but 5 seconds into the match and they're already up 2-0. Colorado, going for that match point in dominating fashion, as Legend wanted that double tap, not able to get it though. RBKO puts it to the sidewall. Not what he wanted to do there. He wanted to get the shot on target. Not quite able to find the net though. As KO, that one's going to be off post and he can't get the read on it. Legend will block RB. Buck Wildebeest to the backboard. OS sends it away. KO sending it to the sidewall for Buck Wildebeest. There's that chemistry I was talking about, and that's another one in their net. A hat trick already. Less than a minute in. From Elite Melvin. My god. Well. Top left corner. Right off the touch from KO, and it's looking good for Colorado.
It certainly is. It's great stuff from them. I mean, the first turn may be unfortunate for Kansas City, but that one, it did feel pretty strong from Elite Melvin. All 3 were pushing up, so the opportunity is open for him, and he had to score it. He did so wonderfully, but this one isn't quite so good as he gives possession away to Buck Wildebeest on the edges of his own box. To the backboard, KO is there, gets one back for Kansas City. There's still life in game number 3 yet.
Well, okay. Kansas City answering back a little bit, as there's a wide open net for Melvin. If he can score it, not quite. That one will go back for Legend. Can't quite get anything though. Legend sends it to the midfield. None of the KC players are able to finish it though, as RBKO will put it straight into Legend, who gets the touch, and KO will get 50'd away. Ooze is going to try and get something there. Legend gets 50'd, KO to the backboard. RB sending it into the corner. Midfield, 50'd from KO off the read, and we have a 1-goal game.
They make the most of the chaos coming out. It feels like it's been an age since a team got successive touches, but that is actually an incredible read from KO. Gets up there so early to block out the defender, leaves them no room to move, leaves them no room to put the ball where they aren't scoring it. So that's really, really good stuff from him, trying to counter out Elite Melvin's really early hat-trick by getting a brace of his own. Maybe he'll go on to complete the hat-trick and get the equaliser, but we're only 2 minutes into this one and we've already seen 5 goals. It's really seen the tempo rise quite a bit from the other 2 games, as these teams really trying to punish everything that's thrown at them. And you see the ambition coming out from Kansas City now. They're going on the offense.
Oh no.
And this is not looking good for Colorado. Surely KO gets the hat-trick, but he's completely skived it.
Oh no. Very unfortunate. Honestly, Colorado got lucky there. Very bad double commit from Colorado. And Ooze is going to get his first of this match, as it is 4-2 in favor of Colorado.
I think Kansas City were just a little bit put off by Elite Melvin missing for seemingly the first time ever, as he did not get the chance put away for his fourth. Meant that Kansas City were panicking on the goal line, didn't realize what was happening, and just left OOS too much time to get it in the back of the net, so they've got to be doing better on defense. They were almost threatening to get the equalizer there, but now they've got another two to put in the back of the net. Good bump coming out, can Buck Wildebeest make the most of it? No, and you know, if their defense isn't doing too well, they want to be making the most of any opportunity they get, and they just don't seem to be doing so, leaving chances left, right, and center. And as you say, Colorado getting a bit lucky. This might be the one, but again, it's all the post.
No. RV slamming it right into the post. Could have been back to a 1-goal game, but RB Chaos is otherwise. But Buck will bring it back to 1.
Great finish from him. Again, it's the 50 from KO. Is so good at countering out defenders, trying to clear it out. For that second goal, got a good dunk. For this one, gets a 50 into the middle. And Buck is scoring those apparently all day long. It's not exactly the easiest angle, but he gets the bunch shot into the back of the net. And as you say, it's a 1-goal game. Anything can happen. KO completes the hat-trick and gets the equalizer for Kansas City.
And just like that, 8 goals throughout this game, and 4-4 is a big jump from the other games that we've had that were not as high scoring. The 2-1s, the 2-2, or the 2-3, I mean. And I think we had 2 2-1s and a 2-3 game. So much bigger score improvement here from these teams. Now we'll see if Colorado can get that hot streak again like they had at the beginning of the match, to get that match point advantage, that match point pressure over this KC team.
And as much as the scoring has improved and, you know, increased, I also feel like it's a little bit of chaos coming out from the defenses. There was a moment there where it looked like all 6 players were in that middle third, no one willing to stay back as that third. So you know, the both of them got away with it. Obviously, it just kept bouncing around the midfield a little bit more. But in the end, it's falling for Kansas City. But again, they've had far more shots. They're outscoring Colorado 11-4 at the moment. But yet the scoreline is equal, and you know that's just what the chaos brings with it.
Now it looked like Colorado was like a little bit. They looked very panicked on defense in that, and another double commit. But
It's open.
They looked very panicked on that defensive sequence they had, and another double commit, but they also had a double commit just like that bump there that happened a second ago. They had one of those that could have ended very bad. Luckily, Colorado came out unscathed, as Ooze has an attempt. If he gets a double tap and he doesn't, we'll be going to a 4-4 game 3 overtime.
After the first overtime we had, interesting choice from Colorado here. It just gives the pressure straight away, but it certainly feels like Colorado have had a lot of chaos in their defense. No one really committing back post again, and Elite Melvin occupying the same spaces, and that's why Kansas City have had so many opportunities. It just had so much space to work with because the mistakes keep coming out from Colorado, but it might all count for nothing. But no, Colorado didn't get it in the back of the net, only one back, but again, Kansas City just failed to make the most of it despite the flying double commits coming out from Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado, I think they just really looked panicked because of lack of chemistry. And Ooze will get the overtime ending goal 45 seconds in off the pass from Legend. Beautiful pass there, and puts it perfectly over KO. And Colorado will go up 3-1 or 2-1 in the series.
And it is a spectacular finish to do so. You're not really expecting that from Legend, to go straight in field with it, and Ooze to be so ready to collect it and pitch it in. But at the same time, you have to be looking at Kansas City's defense. They've had so little to do all game. I mean, yes, they've conceded 4 goals, but the one save was enough, and it's so much offense that they clearly just weren't ready for anything coming their way compared to the Colorado defense, which was somehow getting the job done. So 2 defenders on the goal line for Kansas City can do nothing about it. OOS again getting the winner for Colorado, and they will get themselves into that 2-1 position, that match point position, and just one more game for them to win the whole series.
Yeah, now they have that match point pressure over Kansas City. So we'll see if they can take it the final step and get the 3-1. Or will it be Kansas City bringing it to a game 5?
Here we go. The teams are now equal on the on the table on the Western Conference. 14 wins apiece here. Who will be the ones coming out on top by the end of it? Will it be Colorado getting it done in 4? Will Kansas City Cyclones fight back and get themselves that series win in a game 5? You always love to see it as a caster, that game 5, where the teams have nothing left to wait for. They have to throw it all down on the pitch, but not there just yet. Still needs something else from Kansas City, and they need to improve on their accuracy. They had so many more shots than Colorado in the last game, and they've had a slightly better shooting percent coming into this one, 35 compared to 34, so it's not like them to miss so many, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. They need to be doing better in game number 4. Here they go. One last chance to keep themselves in this series.
One solid offense performance like they had it like the middle of that last game, and they'll be fine. But Ooze sending it to the backboard. No Colorado player to commit, as Ooze will bring it up to the middle. Oh, Legend not able to get it. RBKO with the banger. Saved away by Ooze. And nothing. Oh no!
Colorado getting confused on the defense. No one quite sure who's meant to be front post, as Legend has to take the job from Elite Melvin. And all he can find is his own woodwork as it comes rifling back out into the middle for KO to once again dunk on top of. He seems to have the read on everything in this series, and yet again he proves that as he gets the first goal of game number 4 for Kansas City.
Very unfortunate, as about 30 seconds in, Kansas City is already up 1. Okay, never mind. And there's Legend's first goal of the day.
The speed on this one just leaves RB no chance. I mean, RB's trying to push up a little bit, trying to see what Legend will do. It doesn't matter what RB's doing. Legend has it in the back of the net, and the equalizer already comes through. Maybe not quite as many goals as we had last time, but still the scoring keeps on coming through. 40 seconds and already a goal apiece. It's a lot to work with. Might be another one for Elite Melbourne, but it will be off to the right, and RB will actually have time to deal with this one.
Yeah, as 112 kph that shot was, right into the back of Kansas City's net to equalize it at 1 apiece. Colorado putting on a lot of pressure already. This one, KO tries to get the dribble off. It's blocked away by Legend. Buckwood beats with the ceiling pinch, also blocked away by Legend. As Melvin will get 50'd. Oo's gonna send it into Buckwood-Wildebeest, who sends it to the backboard for RB. Bump, and KO will put in the game-leading goal here for Kansas City.
And you think RB's whiffed his lines there, sent the shot askew, but it doesn't matter for him. He realizes what he's done and also realizes that there's a defender on the goal line just waiting to be bumped out of the way so that KO can score yet another. He certainly seems to be the one getting the goals for Kansas City. Gets him the leading goal in this one, and well done to RB on that one. So easy to get lost up in the play and take your head out of it, but not for him. He gets straight back into the action, gets the bump, and already they're back on the offense. They're not happy with a 1-goal lead. They want that 2-goal cushion. Just the question is whether Colorado's defense can hold out.
There was, I'm pretty sure, a double bump, and there's that 2-goal lead you're talking about. But I'm pretty sure that was a double bump before Kansas City got the goal to take the lead. There was a double bump which led to a wide open net for the Kansas City players. As we still have 3 minutes in, 3 minutes to go, and it's already 3-1 in favor of Kansas City.
Trying to take the possession again. Colorado really struggling to get back into this one now. Might be starting to get shut out. Kansas City might have finally found the answer, but you see Elite Melvin here. Just the fluidity not coming through. All three players in the far corner means that Kansas City should have time, and yet somehow it just pays off for Colorado. The Kansas City is not dealing well with this, ambiguity coming out from the offense in this final third, and Colorado somehow get one back. We have a 1-goal game, and you have to be asking more of Kansas City there. You should have so much time to deal with it and so much space to work with, but Colorado just make the most of it and get the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, and Colorado getting it back to a 1-goal deficit here. Melvin trying to close that to 0 goals and try to get it back to 3 apiece here. As Ooze is going to try and get it past Buck Wildebeest, and he does. Straight to KO though, to the backboard. Saved away by Legend, but it's not a very good clear as RB is up for it. Doesn't have the boost to follow as Ooze will take control. Buck Wildebeest, 50s. And this one will be sent to the sidewall. Ooze is going to take control. He tries to get a flick of a KO. He does, and that's a wide open net. But Legend manages to return fast enough, and that one is just off. Legend pops it up. RB not able to get it as Ooze was thinking about pushing up on it, as Ooze will get a banger clear downfield, and that one's gonna be in possession of Melvin, who gets it past one. Tries to get it past another as Ooze is there to the back wall. KO will send it away though, as we are under 1:30 to go.
It's just not really working for Colorado at the moment. Every time they try to play out a defense, Kansas City are right on top of them. The only thing that really worked was Ooze's long-range belter down the field, so maybe they should be looking more to that, because they're not getting the team plays at all from defense. Every time one of them goes forward, their two teammates aren't really backing them up. Again, Legend it's a bit of a solo effort here. Ooze tries to make the most of it, but they're just not on the same wavelength. It's not really coming off for them, and yet they still somehow get it in the final third. Buck should have time to deal with it, and then there's only one man back, so Colorado struggling to break out a defense, and yet seemingly having no men spared to deal with what Kansas City have going forward.
Yeah, less than 1 minute to go. Colorado still down by 1. Legend might have the attempt though. KO will demo Ooze in the midfield. 30 seconds to go. RB with the shot just off once again. Ooze will put the shot on. KO is just back though. Puts it down. RB with the shot, and that's 50 right in, but Legend is there to save it away. As Ooze doesn't get the touch, but Buck Wildebeest does. 10 seconds. Legend trying to start this offensive drive. RB will block it away. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and Buck Wildebeest will put in another one, making it 4-2. And Kansas City takes game number 4, and we're going to a game 5.
We certainly are, and it's a lot of thanks for that to KO, because he's just been putting this Kansas City offense on his back. You see there at the end he got a mechanical play to try and get them a fourth. In the end it comes from Buck Wildebeest, but 2 hat-tricks in a row shows just how much he's involved in this offensive play for them. Colorado struggling to get a read on him, and KO perfectly reading the Colorado defense time and time again. They just cannot find an answer, and it's credit to this man's ability. He just always seems to know what to do, and has brought us to this game number 5.
Legend there with 5 saves for his team, but now we will be getting into the 5th and final game. We will see if Colorado will come out with the win, or will it be Kansas City taking 2 straight?
Somebody has to take it all here. There can only be one winner. Who will it be? Kansas City Cyclones or the Colorado Wolves? We will find out with another 5 minutes on the clock, and the chaos has already begun. There's whiffs left, right, and center. Who can get their head in the game first and start to get some link-up play? Who knows, but we'll have to wait and see what the teams can do.
And as this one Melvin sends it to the midfield for Legend to double commit. Legend getting another, Melvin getting a pre-flip touch is going to 50 KO there.
Double commit comes out there. KO trying to make something of it. Neither team can really establish a foothold here because of just how much pressure is on them. They're on stream. They're in a must-win matchup. Every game matters here as they look for playoff spots, so they have to be playing to their fullest potential. Almost there for Colorado, but Kansas City just finding the answers. They're equaling each other out, going toe-to-toe, but KO will strike first blood. Who else would it be for Kansas City? 2 hat-tricks in a row. He's looking to get that feed again. It's just past the first minute mark. He beats out Elite Melvin to take the lead for Kansas City.
Unfortunate turn of events there, but we are, see records, shoot, wait, let me find the records real quick. Kansas City is 13-10, Colorado is 12-5. But as a shot from Melvin comes on, KO will pass it back to Buck Wildebeest. KO trying to send it to the midfield for one of his teammates, but they are both sitting back. RB doesn't get the touch, as neither does Buck Wildebeest. Legend gonna send it to the midfield. Not able to get anything as he's 50'd by KO. RB down the field. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say he was gonna get one more, but he doesn't. As shot from Ooze not quite able to land in the back of Kansas City's net. As KO is gonna try and get the shot blocked away by Ooze. Legends up for that one, following it very fast as Legends gonna try and send it to the midfield. A triple commit, it looked like, from Colorado there, as Legends gonna send it down field. RBKO with the shot, Melvin to send it away. 2:30, almost 2:30 to go, and it's still Kansas City up by 1.
And Colorado just inviting the pressure. As you say, the communication not really there. Maybe some triple commits coming out, and it just makes it so much harder to break out. Then you're leaving yourself so little time to defend and offering up so much space in the middle for Kansas City. This one doesn't come off for RB, but that's what you like to see, you know. Sometimes you see teammates, like the second and third teammates, a little bit scared when a man like KO is doing so well on the front foot, and we have seen a couple of times RB and Buck Wildebeest just step up a little bit, but there RB was trying to get more involved, and KO really needs that. Sometimes you do need some support from your teammates. He's going to need some here, but Oos will try and prevent that rebound opportunity. So if Kansas City are to keep scoring and make sure that they don't leave it at 1 where Colorado can always come back into it, they need RB and Buck Wildebeest to try and make the most of KO's creativity. Almost Buck Wildebeest. Can RB get there? No, not quite, but we stay at 1-0 for them. They just need to make sure they hold their composure. They certainly need to. Here RB leaves themselves plenty of time to get it clear, and that is confidence inspiring that they're able to block out Colorado.
Right, it is now we're under a minute and a half remaining. Legend popping it up to the midfield. KO to send it away. KO is going to try and stay with this one. Try and start the offensive drive for his team, but Legend will send it away. RBKO, 50's Legend. Ooze is going to be there. Full tank of boost for RB. Gets it past Melvin. And Kansas City is up 2-0 with just under a minute to go.
What a play from RB. 4 or 5 touches all by himself. Looks at KO and says, I want some of that for myself. I'm going to be scoring this one. Just takes it on his own shoulders. No one from Colorado is going to be able to stop that. So unpredictable. So hard to know where to place your car when RB's coming at you with speed like that. And means that Colorado find themselves in a really, really dodgy situation. They need another win here if they ought to equalize with Kansas City in the league standings. But at the moment it looks like Kansas City should be able to close this one out. 40 seconds left for Colorado to get 2, and they are searching for it.
And Legend not able to get that one as we have 30 seconds remaining. And this one, Buck Wildebeest will be blocked there. Seconds are counting. Every second counts for this team that's trying to mount a comeback in this game 5. Oh my god, what a pinch. Okay, well, still doesn't really help them as they are still down 2-0 with 10 seconds remaining. And that might have just sealed the game, as it will be Kansas City winning this one in a game 5, 2-0. And Kansas City will keep Colorado down near the bottom of their conference.
Yeah, it was impressive stuff in the end from them. I have to say, I think it was that chemistry coming through in the end, that knowledge of each other coming from the fact that they've played together just that little bit longer as Colorado had to rebuild their roster. So in the end, that shows through. Yes, Colorado threatened them, but Kansas City were the better team in the end, and they go on to 16 to Colorado's 14 in the standings now. And that is big credit to KO. He was so dominant in the air and pushing forward. RB took some inspiration from that for the second goal there to guarantee to cement the win in place, but. Yeah, okay, it was really impressive to see in the final third. So many goals in Colorado, time and time again. Just could not see what he was about to do, and it does mean that they fall in Game 5 to Kansas City.
Yeah, what a stellar performance from Kansas City. They had a rough start, but KO carrying this Kansas City team to victory, and Colorado is not able to get their redemption, as it will. This one will go in favor of Kansas City. So, see, next we will have our first of 2 Glacier matches right after the break.